All right, part 2 of the video. Sorry about that, guys. Just want to make sure we had enough space to record this. So, here we have the rocket cable. Now, this is what does the charging and firmware update. So, the firmware update, as you can see here, is incredibly complicated. So, the first thing you have to do is make sure that the rocket cable and the power supply are disconnected from the Neo Geo, and the Neo Geo X is off. Then you insert the SD card that has a firmware update into the console. Then you switch this toggle, as you can see. You switch that right to X. Kind of confusing, right? Then you connect the power supply, which is what I was saying before, the AC adapter that plugs right into this thing, as it doesn't include one. Right into there. Connect this into the Neo Geo X. As you can see, even though I just did this about 10 times, I'm already forgetting how to do it. So, this is where things get a little bit confusing, because what you do, and I don't have the cable with me, so I'm just going to show you with this, but imagine this thing protruding out of here that plugs into your wall. Okay. This thing plugs right into here, right? And what you're supposed to do is, right after you plug in, you hold down start. I'm not going to do it because I don't want my Neo Geo to go through it. And then the thing automatically starts to flash like 4 times, and then eventually gets to the update screen. And then it updates. And that's the process. So there's a lot of steps, and it's very confusing. But the issue is that even if that was a process, it'd be kind of crappy. But let's see if... Okay, do you see that? Yeah. That's without any weight on it. And this thing just shook out. The cable on this, or the connector on this, is like, look at that. That's all the way in. No pressure even. I mean, it just slides in and slides out. And when you have the AC adapter on the other side, I mean, it is just no bueno. So the problem is that it took me about 6 tries to get the update to work correctly, and the time where it finally did work correctly, I realized that this might be losing connection, and so I had to put it ground level with the charger. And a lot of people have reported also going through 4 or 5 updates. So if you're someone who the update is failing every time, try to put it ground level and see if it works. I don't know if that's actually what fixed it, or if it was just it finally went through. But yeah, it took me 6 times and about an hour and a half to actually get it correctly updated. So it is a pain, and some people have reported that they can't get theirs updated at all if they have a 337, I believe, system, which was the first firmware update that also allowed you to crack the unit. So yeah, there you go. You don't get the best of both worlds there, even though you got an advantage at first. So, update process, pretty disappointing, very confusing, and it may or may not work. So, mixed bag, I guess, right? And you know I'm not going to go through showing you how to update it because I don't want my system to die. The actual game card, it comes in this nice yet generic SD card case. So there you go. And the cool thing is you can actually use it to store Ninja Masters, which I have a feeling will be the only game ever on this console that is the sole game on a card. So you can always throw that in the case. The actual SD card, as you can see here, there you go. It says Neo Geo X Mega Pack, and the back says Neo Geo. It has one of those little lock tabs, and I gotta say, you know, they sell these there as they say, oh no, these aren't SD cards, these are specially formatted Neo Geo cartridges. But you know, even as SD cards go, honestly, guys, it feels a little cheap. And the little lock thing here, which you don't even ever need to use, oh boy, that just makes it feel like not a game at all. I remember the Tapwave Zodiac and the N-Gage, they had SD cards, right? And they were specially formatted. But you know what? They came on a little thicker things, and they had like actual, I mean, this is a good start. But they had little holographic labels and stuff, and it actually felt like, hey, you know what? This is an SD card, but it's a Tapwave Zodiac card, or it's an N-Gage card. And this just feels like an SD card, and that, a little disappointing there. But you know what? That's Tomo. So, let's boot it up. Now, you slide it right in here. As you can see, this is my Ninja Masters card, which does not have the Neo Geo thing on the back, so So much for that. One saving grace. So you slide it in here, and let's show you what the system has to offer, shall we? And apologize if the screen looks smudgy because I don't really have an excuse. We might actually turn off this light here in a little bit. See if you can see the screen better. Let's give that a shot, actually. Just a second. Yeah, I like that. Cool. So, as you can see, the game logos have been updated slightly. They kind of are, they sync a little better. They have that little white thing on top, as you can see. And the logo's a little more crisp. It's not that noticeable, honestly, but it's something. If you hit the menu button, it says version 500, which is the new firmware version. And also has a serial number, which it didn't have before. So that is definitely new. Try to keep this stable here so you can see it well. Let's boot it up. So once you get that, you got another selection of games. One thing that I don't like is that there's no way to get back to the last screen, as you can see. So like once you're in this menu, the only way to get back to the other games is actually to go into a game and quit from there and go to the main menu, and then you'll get back into the actual menu. So there you go. Of course, we won't play all these games, but you can see them all here. What I will do is I'll boot up Metal Slug 2 for you, and I'll show you one of the new firmware updates. Let's turn this thing up too in a little bit. Loading bar has also been updated. I really don't know what they mean by that. It looks the same. I don't really remember what it looks like, so it's one of those things that's like, okay, so what, you know? That still annoys me how, as you can see, when you turn up the volume or turn up the brightness, it actually like pauses the game. It's pretty ridiculous, but you know, whatever. Okay, so I'm playing in 4:3 mode, and that's one of the new features is that before you had to hit this button to change, but now all you got to do is if you want this aspect ratio, never do anything, it'll always be in this. If you're someone who plays in 4:3, on the other hand, hit it once, and as long as you play your Neo Geo X, it'll be 4:3. So that's cool because it was kind of annoying before if you were a player who liked 4:3 aspect ratio, and you had to hit that button every time. So that's another update. Here's one of my favorite, and this is actually pretty cool and makes the console a little more desirable. So what you would do is you go to Game Start, and as you can see right there, boom, data load, yes or no. So that means that there is now a virtual memory card in here, which is actually pretty cool because a lot of, and I'm not condoning this, but a lot of the main versions of this, they don't have the virtual memory card. And actually even the CMVS, which is a lot of people's preferred way to play these games these days, there's not yet a way to do a memory card on there. And that's coming, I've heard. I know Christoph with Analog Interactive is implementing one, and possibly the Omega as well. But for now, yeah, there's no way to save your games on a CMVS. So that's actually a really cool feature that, as a CMVS player myself, I really, really like. So let's see. If you hit yes, load OK. This is really cool. So every time you beat a mission in Metal Slug, it lets you select it individually. So the cool thing is, like, let's say you die on mission 3. You run out of credits, because don't forget there's not unlimited credits on this system. You can actually go into this menu and start from level 3 with 4 credits. So the cool thing about that is every time you beat a mission with a preset amount of credits, you don't have to play the entire game again. You know what I'm saying? So for good players, that's not going to matter too much, because I have not quite been able to beat Metal Slug 2 on the 4 credits it gives you. I've gotten to the last stage, and about halfway through. But I've practiced a lot. For casual players, and I can imagine kids back in the day, though, it's nice because let's say, I finally beat mission 4. You know, it took me a million tries. Well, you're not going to have to do that again if you want to get to mission 5. So we'll show you here. We'll boot up mission 2. Go to my main man, Tarma. So we'll get the light back on here. So other updates include sound quality's been improved, and I don't know if you could hear it in the video, but it definitely does sound crisper, clear. Some games had a little bit of, not missing sound effects, but muffled sound effects. Those have been definitely made more audible. The video out has been improved. The colors don't bleed as much, which is actually a really nice feature. But honestly, this console does not look great on TVs. It's just, it's just not there. As an actual like home Neo Geo, it's still, it's usable and it's doable for sure. But it doesn't really get close to making you feel like you're playing on original hardware. But as a handheld, it does feel great. It really does. It's not a bad little console. I think that's every update. Yes, I believe it is. So we'll power this down. Place it here. Yeah, so there you go. That is the Neo Geo X Mega Pack. It includes, again, the game card, the rocket cable, the manuals, the case, and this weird plastic thing on top. It'll get you a new firmware update if it works, and if it doesn't work, then you'll have to send it into Tomo. So a little bit of a downside there. But if you want to see everything I thought about it, you can head over to hardcoregamer.com, like I said, and check out the article. But to sum it up, basically, $80, a little much for what you get, but you do get 15 great games. There's not many bad games here. And you get the rocket cable, which makes things a lot easier, and the firmware, which should be free, but hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm sure Tarma didn't sell a lot of these, so we'll throw him a bone. And the case is really nice. So honestly, you know what? I don't think anyone's going to feel burned for $80. I really don't. I think $60 would have been perfect, but I don't think anyone's going to walk away and be like, yeah, this was, I got ripped off. If anything, people will say, yeah, it's great, just a little much. And that's kind of the thing here. So you know what? If you have a Neo Geo X and you want to keep playing it, especially on the go, pick it up. If you're on the fence or haven't been using it a lot, you might want to just keep waiting to see what Tarma has in store. But it's a good effort, and I really do applaud their packaging and the fact that they're still supporting this console. So that's it. Make sure to head to hardcoregamer.com to see more on the Neo Geo X, as we're one of the top sites covering it. Subscribe to our channel, get more unboxing, and we'll make sure to cover, hopefully, Mega Pack Volume 2 next up. So thanks, and have a great day.